So let's talk about what happened today. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was caught completely off guard. Again, bad habits showing up that I seem to. It has to do with the early morning and just not being able to see. Really, it's not being able to see or anticipate um, situation where I knew the risk could be high. Now, I knew the chance of a correction was high, but I didn't think it was going to happen right off the bat. My analysis over the weekend was essentially, you know, Monday was going to be technical Monday. Um, and then somewhere in the morning, the sell off is going to happen. I could not anticipate this to happen. It's just this, I cannot anticipate that to happen. It's impossible to predict that. However, uh, just having the right patience and discipline would have saved me. But unfortunately, my account being at a new high at the time, and just overall bad habits essentially caused me to again fail for these traps. And you can see the pre-market was essentially what brain seed right here. The pre-market, let's just go zoom into here. So the futures was pretty negative, and then they bought it up. At one time, Amazon was flat. This right here somehow planted in my head that there is no way Amazon is going to sell off the way it sold off. There is no way for me at the time seeing, but this is all a brain seed. This is a head fake. It is a misdirection, a trap, and they just sold it off. I mean, they just sold it off. Now, this line right here is the line from the recovery at this point. So that is a key technical line, and it also lines up here. However, I took my first position at 32.50. I don't know why. Really, I have no idea why I would be taking a position so early on. Just because it's at 32.50, and it's just looking at this, the volume was high. Um, yeah, I mean, and I was gonna play a straddle essentially here at 32.50. The volume was high. Essentially, I was going to play the straddle. I sold the first leg, which is the put, and I was going to sell the call uh, put. However, I just didn't anticipate all of this to happen. I mean, I did not. So I didn't protect myself at all. I didn't. So I sold the put on the 32.50 right here. And of course, at the time, it's going to be like at up here. Is that it? Wow, somewhere up here, right? Yeah, 9. So right here. I mean, so early on. Look at that. So I'm sitting at essentially a three. I mean, at one point this was 4,500. Um, but the point is, I just completely did not see this collapse. Now, my smaller trades, I did, 100% on the smaller trades, but the big trade, just because I was not able to, I don't know, it's just embarrassing to be honest. I just not, I just did not in my head see that this was even a possibility on Monday. I mean, I literally had blank seated myself in out of the expectation. I went to the casino and was sitting at the blackjack, and they were playing roulette essentially. It was a completely different, like, oh, they were playing chess. It's a completely different game. And here I am trying to play blackjack, completely just, yeah, didn't protect myself, no discipline, playing a one-sided straddle, which normally I don't like to play a one-sided straddle, especially when, I saw the VXAZN was it was up here, right? So I was anticipating on selling the straddle at this, and it would have been fine. Essentially, it would have been fine had I sold it. So let me show you. So 3250 right here. Had I showed it at the at the straddle right here at 80, and now it's at 60, right? That's 20. That's well, last trade is about theoretical is that's 25,000, and of course I lost 35,000. No, that's 2,000, 2,500, and I lost 3,500. So I'm down 1,000, but my individual trades were 1,500 or 1,400, so I would have been up for the day. I mean, this is why you gotta stick with your discipline, and why one-sided straddle is just dangerous, especially in the morning. I mean, I did not even, I just completely missed it, completely embarrassed. I don't know what to say. I don't know if Jeff Bezos is selling his shares. I don't know what really caused this, but it is definitely Amazon that went, that, maybe because it was below the 200. And I knew this was negative, but why did I not even anticipate this type of sell-off is beyond me. I mean, I know it's possible. I've seen it in the past, so I don't know why. But anyhow, completely embarrassing. So I'm down 3K, more than 3K, but I wrote down 3K today. So no longer at a new high. I don't know how long I don't know what's the future's gonna hold, but let's just go over the individuals and see essentially everything. Let's just look at the 60 minutes to show you. I mean, everything essentially just collapsed at the beginning. Tesla, I mean, the only one that held up, I don't know if there's anything that held up. Let's look at the 15. I was thinking about getting in on Google on my small trading account. I think on this retracement right here, I was thinking of getting in, but I just like, you know what? Let's just not do it. I got chicken, and this would have been a perfect one, but had I waited, you know what? Your mindset is so different when you make a mistake, like what I made. The mistake I made completely changed your mindset for the whole day, and it just seep in fear. You lose confidence. You lose your ability to think straight. I mean, I knew Google was a great bounce candidate at this point, and had I not, you know, lost out on this because of being impatient and just completely missing it, I probably would have gotten in Google, and this would have been 1,000, 2,000, right? Maybe 1,500. Yeah, just and that is why I desperately hate making bad trades. Making bad trades lead to additional bad trades. That's why I like to be perfect. I like to be perfect because it keeps my confidence good. It keeps my mindset correct. It keeps me making the correct technical plays. But when you make mistakes like what you make, simply out of just pure impatience and not reading the technical at all, not even having the idea that it's possible to collapse. I mean, had I even thought about it, I would just say, you know what, let's just wait. I mean, your account is at an all-time high. You don't need to rush in. Just because this VIX AZN looks high, it's high here, it essentially got me greedy. I mean, this is what happened. This VIX AZN seeded my brain. I said, oh, I want that straddle. I want that straddle, it's going to deteriorate in value. It's gonna, Monday isn't I wasn't even considering the sell-off. Was not even considering the sell-off. And this got me eager. This got me rushing in, selling one leg, not even both legs. If I sold both legs, I would have been fine. But I was convinced that, you sell one legs, and then sell, once it back up a little bit, sell the other leg. Got really greedy. Not, and look at that. Jeez, yeah, I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. I don't know what to say. Just embarrassing. It's just human mistake, human frailty. Just being egotistical, being overconfident, being human, I guess. I don't know what to say. I mean, and you can't be human if you want to be a good trader. You just got to be a robot. You got to be a robot, and you just gotta hit it uh, the right way, in and out. You can't take these gambles. You can't be led into, being swayed from rushing in and just being eager to grab something like this, especially when the volume is way so high. The volume at the beginning was way so high. Yes, it wasn't a gap down, hardly a gap down, but the volume was way too high. And of course, the other one that tricks me was the stupid VIX. It was mediocre in the beginning. This VIX was mediocre in the beginning, and of course, the VXX. I wasn't looking at the VIX, I was looking at the VXX. Here it is. Yeah, this tricked me too. The volume is weak. Nothing. It was negative. Volume is weak. Negative. I could not foresee. There wasn't enough of a signal for me to foresee a crash. So how did they do it? I don't know how they do it. The only way I can think of it is perhaps Jeff Bezos is selling his automatic shares, or his automatic sell that he's allocated to sell. And I guess we won't know until a few days when I look at the insider reports on Nasdaq, Amazon insider activity, and let's see if it shows up. It should show up in a couple of days. By that time, if Bezos is selling, it's gonna continue to go down, because I can tell you the last time Bezos sell. Here it is, right here. I mean, this is 5 to 3rd, I believe, right there. Yep, 5 to 3rd. Look at it. I mean, it is almost identical to this. It is literally identical. The volume's a little bit weaker in volume, but this candle down is identical to this. And maybe the price action is a little bit different. This price action being more like a direct down. I think the Bezos selling was a little bit different. But the end result is, it could be him selling. So if he's selling, it's gonna be pretty bad, right? So now, looking at the weekly, I mean, you sitting really, you can say this is a technical level because it lines up with this one, lines up with this guy, but it's below the 50 weeks. It can easily get to 3,000. I think, yeah, here's the Bezos, the Bezos selling. Yeah, so the Bezos selling went all the way down to this 61.8. So it can go down there or even lower. There's no reason why it won't go lower. I mean, how many shares can he be selling? It can be a lot. It can be a lot. So I don't know if he's doing or not, but if he is, Amazon is in a whole world of hurt. And it could be Amazon that's triggering everything else to sell off. And during the sell-off, when you have a sell-off like that, let's just say hypothetically it's Bezos that's selling his shares. Bezos is selling his shares, which means, the Nasdaq is correcting. There's no technical level. There is no technical level because it's a it's an outside influence, and the programs are just latching on. So I mean, the 350 round number. I mean, but it can keep going down. What is the next level? 30. This guy right here, I guess. 3400. Can they overshoot 3400? Sure can. What about 3330 with the 61.8? Why not? Why not? Probably lines up with this guy, right? Yeah, right here, 32, 332, right? Which is, close to this guy. It can happen. Anything can happen now. On the downside, the technicals diverge in the sense that it's really difficult to determine what is going on. The price signature, the price actions, the signals are difficult to read. I don't know what to say. You know, Tesla, of course, is looking strong today, and then it reversed. So now it's sitting at the 15. How many times does it need to sit at this 15 before it collapses? I mean, this gap up was poised. It was poised to go. I mean, literally, this was poised. This gap up right here, it was poised to break out. Of course, now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tests of the 15, my goodness. 10 times it's sitting at the 15. It's trying to battle. Today would have been a successful breakout. Not happening. I mean, eventually, I don't know what to say. I mean, is it just gonna is this a peak to peak? We've seen it before, peak to peak. So if it's peak to peak, what's gonna happen is that all the longs, all these guys right here, they got stops. They got stops in their buying, right? So once this guy right here got stops a little bit low, this guy got stopped a little bit low, this guy gets stops along the way down, it's just gonna hit these stops, and all these longs is just gonna sell out, and that's why you got peak to peak. Peak to peak, you never know when it's gonna stop. It can undershoot this guy, can keep going. You have no idea when it's stopping until after the fact. Once it's stopped, then you can say, yep, that's peak to peak. Right here, peak to peak. Right? Peak to peak. I mean, that's just the way it works for Amazon. Is that gonna happen now? I don't know. No one knows. I mean, when Amazon is gap up and strong like this, it's still got legs to go higher, but I would not be touching it, not unless, I don't know. If I touch it, I'm probably wrong, and whatever I touch, it's gonna be the wrong analysis, and that's why I just gotta be careful. I mean, yeah, my individual trades wasn't bad to be honest, but it's all counter trading. Every one of those individual trades I made today that was positive was not all, yeah, pretty much most of them were all counter trading or counter trending. And what can you say about Apple? Is this a bounce at this level? I mean, maybe, maybe not. Is this technically a touch? Close enough? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know how to read this. I mean, I would assume it's either gonna break down and then reverse back up, or it'll be the next level at the 200 to meet at 135. The market looks weak, and it's one of those things where it looks weak, but it wasn't weak at the time, and then the weakness just built on, right? The weakness just built on, and now you got you got a lot of weak hands. You got a lot of weak. The volume is coming in. The volumes are coming in actually. There's one, two, three, four extremely red volume that is extremely high, so they're coming in. Bookum. Oh, I really didn't want to look at Bookum, but nothing to say about that stock. Google. Look at that nice bounce. Jeez, nice bounce all the way to in the aftermarket 2681. Like I said, Google is strong. Google is strong when you play in the bounce candidate. Google is the one that you play for the bounce candidate along with Microsoft. And I was so close to getting in this one right here at this juncture. I was looking right at it, had an order, about to click it again. Got scared. Got scared, maybe essentially because I just lost my confidence because of that bad trade in the morning with Amazon getting up here. Shopify. This might be positive. I said Shopify had a target with the 200 days moving average. I said it, right? I said Shopify had a target with the 200 days moving average. This is now starting to look a little bit more like it has a chance, right? So I would probably look into getting a position in Shopify. So it's Shopify, Google. Now Google bounced quite a bit, so I'm not sure if which one is the better one to play, either Google or Shopify. MicroStrategy, yeah, I don't know what to say about that guy. iSearch, what can we say about iSearch sitting at the 100? I said it had a target for the 100. So now, is this a bounce? It is, but I wouldn't mind having a retest at the 100. And you never know. It's one of those things where I guess the biotechs are really weak right now, right? Look at that biotech. Oh my goodness. Right, so the biotechs are really weak. So where's the bottom? Who knows where the bottom can be? iSearch can maybe deviate and create its own path and says, technically, this 100 is strong. Have we ever had a bounce on the 100? Nope. I mean, here, but that's way back when. So is it a bounce candidate? Technically, you have to say yes. But like I said, just because technically it's yes, it may not. It may retest it. It may undershoot and then go higher. Microsoft, of course, always strong on a bounce candidate, and there it is, bouncing off the 100. So there you got Google, you got Shopify, you got Microsoft. These are the bounce candidate that I would consider getting in. I wouldn't be touching anything else. Not even Tesla. Look at Moderna. I mean, geez, talking about collapse, all those longs, right? All of this is essentially a short squeeze, I think is what happened. And now those guys who got in, they just hitting the sell button. It's just complete collapse. I mean, this is just, the thing about these short squeezes, you never know when the game is up. Is the game up here? 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 You don't know. I don't know how the game is over. BioNTech BioNTech, probably going to touch the 200 unless you say this is a touch of the 200. I don't know. I think it's going to retest the 200. I wouldn't be touching this guy. Look at Facebook. My goodness. It was strong. It was holding. I was saying how it was holding, right? It was just holding, holding, holding. Here it is. Didn't hold anymore. Down and touched the 200. Is this a bounce candidate? There's a lot of bounce candidate actually. If you're looking at it, you see, you got Google in a bounce candidate, you got Shopify, you got Facebook, you got iSearch sitting at the 100, you got Microsoft at the bounce candidate. I think Apple was a bounce candidate. Let's take a look at it again. No, Apple is not a bounce candidate. Unless you can say this, why did I use that Fibonacci? Yeah, right here. Unless you can say this line is a bounce candidate. I don't know. Um, Facebook, let's say Nvidia. Again, Nvidia sitting at the 100. So it looks to be turnaround Tuesday. Honestly, if it's not Bezos selling, and I'm not convinced that Bezos is selling, it just feel like something weird is going on, and Bezos is selling, but it may be Bezos is selling, but that may just the programs, the people who are writing the programs right now, just say, yeah, let's just throw Amazon out and have the program exclude Amazon for the time being because that's gonna mess up all the algorithms to have one of the key components of all the Nasdaq and the SPY. And Bezos is selling his shares, it's gonna collapse the entire market. If they exclude Amazon from the programs, the algorithms is gonna look at it and they're gonna see all these bounce candidate. And now you got Nvidia as a bounce candidate. You got Microsoft, you got iSearch, you got Shopify, you got Google. I mean, yeah. Let's see if Netflix is a bounce candidate. Not really, but it's continuing to be strong. Costco is nope. Baba is always dead. Look at Mastercard. Holy smokes. Texas Instrument, Adobe. I mean, this is just yeah. Adobe is a bounce candidate. Now you also got Adobe as a bounce candidate. So I would say Tuesday is looking to be turnaround Tuesday. Now I don't think. Well, who knows? You know what? Turnaround Tuesday can be a gap up and it ain't just a runaway. Yeah, that's just maybe the case, or it may be a gap down. I mean, how's the futures looking? It's probably gonna be flat. Um, what is the futures? Yeah, the futures is actually up right now. It was down, but now it's up. But that doesn't mean anything until tomorrow. But yeah, not yeah. You got Adobe as a bounce candidate too. So Snow, is this a bounce candidate? It is at 100. A lot of these guys are sitting at the bounce level, I mean, technically. So let's take a look at the market cap and see if there's any. Tesla is going to be strong. Walmart. Let's see if this is bouncing anywhere. Wow, this guy. I mean, if it was here, then yes. Look at. I mean, I guess this is the supply chain issue that's going on, right? So if they fix the supply chain issue, Walmart would be. Yeah. I should have known Walmart was. I mean, like a few weeks ago, I was noticing the shelves were looking kind of not normal. I mean, and then the market can. I mean, it continued to go up. You can see how delayed the results of the supply chain issue is. I mean, I noticed it like 2 weeks ago. I was like, man, it's just the shelves are looking strange, but it just didn't dawn on me. Let's look at Bank of America, see if there's anything there. Not really. Financials are still strong. Home Depot, unfortunately, not a bounce candidate because it didn't touch this guy. Adobe, Pfizer, and of course Nike probably see what Pfizer's at below the 100. So those biotechs are really weak. I mean, all the biotechs are really, really weak. Nike, I guess you can say this is bounce candidate. Yeah. So Nike is looking strong, actually, above the 15 now. So I would say I wouldn't mind. I guess I would have to buy a position on Nike in my 401k. not about to trade Nike on my option account. I don't see anything else really except for maybe Starbucks. Is this a bounce candidate? Nope, not yet. Boeing. Nope. Yeah, not sure what else to look at, to be honest. I'm not gonna be buying anything anyway, except for like maybe these top bounce candidate, which would be Google, Facebook, Microsoft, some of the other one, which is iSearch. No, I probably won't get iSearch. Um, I forget what the other one is. Shopify, yeah, Shopify. Nike. That's already too many to get, to be honest, at one time. Dash is, I guess that's a bounce candidate right here, but I'm not touching it. Crown, I think, was a bounce candidate. Nope, nope. Crown was strong, now weak. NXPI, this was, yeah, look at that. It was strong, now weak. All because this is our supply chain issue. Um, let's take a look at, wow. Yeah, Humana, wow. What the heck is going on? What has this got to do with anything that's going on, to be honest? Like, it's up here and then it just doesn't make any sense. A lot of these charts behavior are just completely, who knows why things behave. It has nothing to do with fundamental. Charts price action has everything to do with money, greed, momentum, short squeeze, or manipulation, whatever it is. It has nothing to do with news, fundamental, whatever. And that's why, nowadays, all about technical reading, reading the charts correctly, reading the signals correctly, understanding the behavior, seeing correlation. And eventually, if you play it correctly, if you play it right, if you have that mental mindset of being a robot and not being stupid, if you be human and you double down and triple down and go all in, that is when you blow your account and you just, it's game over essentially. So you just got to stay with your discipline and try to be as robotic as possible. And it's difficult. I mean, I am just shocked at what happened today, but hopefully I'll figure a way out of it and not make these mistakes. I gotta figure a way out of it because this is like the 100th time I keep making these mistakes. Over and over again, over and over again. I don't know how to not make it.